Welcome back to our conversation about mental health and wholeness and overcoming loss and disappointment. Let's get back into it.
When you think about loss and disappointment, what are some common emotions that are triggered? Like when you think about some of your own experiences of loss and disappointment, what emotions, like what common emotions are triggered when you think about those situations?
I would say for me, I experienced not necessarily loss. I want to talk about the disappointment part of it. As I mentioned earlier, I do have narcolepsy, so as I was praying to God, like, I'm a believer, so I'm like, Lord, heal me from this. This is something I'm praying, like, this is something I'm going deep into, I'm fasting on and things like that, and I'm like, Lord, I'm praying for your healing. And when I wasn't healed, I was disappointed. And I was like, okay, God, like, I'm doing what you told me to do, I'm reading your word, I'm fasting, and I'm asking for your healing, but it's not coming. So I definitely experienced a little bit of anger, a lot of sadness, but and not angry like God, like it wasn't like an anger like it was more like a frustration. I say anger, but more of a frustration. Like, okay, Lord, what else do I need to be doing? Like, am I not doing enough? Am I missing something? Like, what am I not doing that you are not hearing me? It was actually really good, because when you vocalize those things to the Lord, like, He will drop revelation. Like, as I was praying, like, He'll wake me up sometimes. I'll just pray, and when I express what's on my heart, like, to Him, even though He's an all-knowing God, He already knows. But sometimes He just needs you to vocalize it to Him. He wants you to. He wants to hear you. He's a Father, so it's like anything else. And He would give me revelation on things. And one of the things that He shared with me was like, this is not a curse for you. This is a blessing for you, because one of the things that comes along with narcolepsy is having very deep dreams. Your dreams, your level of dreaming goes extremely deep, and it allows you to actually, like, remember your dreams, like, when you wake up. A lot of people forget their dreams, like, when they wake up.
Yeah.
But one of the things narcolepsy has is that your dreams become almost like reality. It's very surreal. It's very real. And He showed me, like, hey, listen, this is a blessing. I want you to write down your dreams. Write down all your dreams that you have. And as I was writing down my dreams, I was recognized that, you know what, my dreams, my prayers, and my dreams, like, He would respond to me for my prayers in my dreams. Certain things He would reveal to me in my dreams. And He would even show me things about other people in my dreams. And I recognized that I knew I dreamed a lot. I knew that I had very vivid dreams, but I never used it to what He had given it to me for. And He was like, no, I'm blessing you with this. Like, and He really showed me, like, He gave me a scenario, like, let me take this away from you. When I take this away from you, when I heal you from this, the time that you had it, what did you do with it? You think I just gave this? Like, you had this for this many years, and, you know, I'm a purposeful God. So when you've had this for this many years, now I healed you from it. Now you're going to continue to go on with life. Like, everything is for a reason. And did you use this as a tool? Because I did it for a reason. I'm not just gonna give you a burden in life for no reason. Like, I'm not trying to make your life difficult for no reason. And He was like, let's say I heal you from this today, and you go on. I thought about it. I was like, no, I'm just gonna go on living my life. You know, like, okay, everything is good now. I feel better. I'm good to go. And He was like, that would be pointless. Now you've had it for this many years, and it's pointless. Like, why? Why do you think I would do that? And so He really showed me, like, okay, this is an opportunity for you to not just use it as a testimony, because number one, once you have it, I want people to know that you have it. Like, I give it to you in a severe way because I want people to know that you have it, so that when I heal you from it, people who are unbelievers cannot deny what I've done. Like, people who don't even believe in me cannot deny that, oh my gosh, there is no way that you can still be the same person after I've done this. And so, he showed me like, yeah, it gets severe sometimes because I want people who, especially maybe who are unbelievers, to see this. So that when it happens, because there will be a season of healing. And when that season happens, I want you to see those people, and for those people to see you and be like, I can no longer deny that there is no God. There's no way I can deny, because what I've seen you go through, what I've seen how your life has transformed is a miracle. And so God really showed me like, okay, like, use this as a platform. And the dreams I give you, use this, because I do have very vivid dreams about people. And it allows me to actually almost dive into like a spiritual realm, because I see certain things, people reveal certain things to me about people who might not say a word. And in my dreams, I'm like, you know what? This happened in my dream. And I'll call somebody, and then he'll put somebody in my heart, and I'll call them and I'll talk about stuff. I've done this with my cousin. I've talked about something, and they're frozen for a minute, like, how did you, like,
how did you know?
Like, and it might not happen that day. When I say it might not happen like that day, but it'll be like a couple weeks. They'll be like, remember when you called me about this? I was actually struggling with this. And when you said it, like, I didn't think about it at the moment, but like, it's crazy like that you called me at the right appointed time, because this is exactly what I was dealing with. I'm like, yeah, that's just God. So, yeah, just dealing with disappointment was something that I definitely struggled with, because I was depending on God for what I thought I needed. And the word says, lean not on your own understanding, but trust in the Lord. And so I was not doing that. I was leaning on what I felt like society had told me, like, this is what I need to be. This is what I need to be. And God's like, and someone brought this to my attention. They're like, who's to say that because society kind of looks down upon what you have, who's to say that God did not give it to you as a blessing? If society didn't call it this and set it aside as this, as a condition and everything else, like, who's to say that God did not give this to you and it's actually a blessing? And you're looking at it, your perspective needs to change. As looking at it as something that is a condition that is hindering you, to something that is a blessing from God. And it completely changed the way I thought about it. So.
Yeah, I wanted to, as you were talking, this scripture came to mind in 2 Corinthians 12, 6 through 7. This is Paul speaking, and he says, though if I should wish to boast, I would not be a fool, for I would be speaking the truth, but I refrain from it, so that no one may think more of me than he sees in me or hears from me. So to keep me from becoming conceited because of the surpassing greatness of the revelation, a thorn was given to me in the flesh, a messenger of Satan, to harass me, to keep me from becoming conceited. And this goes on, and he says, 3 times I pleaded with the Lord about this, that it should leave me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then I am content with the weakness, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong. And I'm reminded of this like prosperity gospel that we've been given and we've been privy to I won't even say privy to, this for lack of a better word, that we've been exposed to in America. That kind of just paints this like feel good picture over the gospel, over like the life of a believer. And as you were speaking, I don't personally believe that God like gives sicknesses and diseases and things like that. Like the word does say, like, even with Paul here, he's saying like a thorn was sent, a messenger of Satan, right? God allowed the thorn to remain because it served a purpose. It served a greater purpose. And so even like what you were sharing, Joe, it reminds me of like, okay, not that God gave it, but that he is, because nothing goes through his hands without like unless he permits it, it doesn't go through. Like, he is still sovereign. He's still seated on the throne. And it's like he's allowing, like what you're saying, he's allowing the thorn for a greater purpose. And the Bible tells us that he works all things together for our good. So like all things, be it good things, not so good things, sicknesses, diseases, whatever it is, no matter how it looks, it's all working together for our good. And so what you're saying now is like he's working it together for your good. He's like using it to humble you, using it to allow you to depend on him, and to not depend on yourself, your own strength. And so so thank God for that. We're gonna go into the final question here, and my final question is, what challenges have you guys faced where you just felt like, I'm not going to be able to bounce back from this? And we're sharing about this because in the midst of all of what we've experienced in 2020, and people have experienced a lot of loss and disappointment, and maybe experiencing a lot of emotions right now in isolation, that sometimes it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so what are some like personal situations that like you've experienced when you were in it, you were like, I'm not gonna make it out of this. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it out of this. And making it out of it, like even what you're saying, Joe, may not necessarily be that the situation has changed, but it could be that you have changed. Your perspective has changed about the situation. And so, so I'll just open that up.
Well, I guess I'll go. A few years ago, back in 2018, I was diagnosed with stage 2 cancer. I had like a tumor inside of my neck. And I was shocked, really, honestly. Like I knew I had a bump for a while, but I just hadn't gone to get it checked out at all. Cause I was like, the Lord, like I had prayed years before. I was like, God, whatever you take me through, because I'd already been through stuff. And I was like, there's just one thing that I don't ever want to happen. I don't want ever to have to go through cancer. Like, just not me, not my family, whatever you need to do. I do not want a Job experience at all. Like, anything else you want to take
Job
through.
got that, Lord.
Yeah, like, Job had to do it, not me. But yeah, so I was diagnosed and I was shocked. I was like, Lord, like, do you not want me to live? Like, I've been here living for you. I've like said no to a lot of things that I wanted to do because I'm trying to follow you and be a believer and all these things. And I was just like, I can't believe you're gonna let me be taken out like this. Like, I was completely just like, I don't want to say, I was blown. I was mad. I was angry. I was hurt. I felt alone. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't want to celebrate my birthday. I got diagnosed like a few weeks before my birthday, and I was like, nah, I'm just done. Like, pause everything because we don't know if it's going to be a tomorrow. So like, why are we here? So yeah, no, I was in a place. I had Tawana. She made me celebrate my birthday, and I'm really appreciative of that. Like, so yeah, I was in a place. So what I had to do was like, I don't know, it was hard to turn to the Lord, but I still did it. And I don't even know if at that point it was out of just like trust or just out of like rote, like, habit. But yeah, I definitely was still praying. I was like, Lord, I'm really angry. I feel very abandoned, but I'm still here. I'm going to show up and, see, what this faith thing does in a place like this. And I definitely know I had friends and family praying for me, even though I couldn't like hear it at the time. Like, I still knew it was happening. And then I found 3 books written by believers that I really needed. So I wrote it down because I wanted to share. I found a book, it's online, it's like a PDF from John Piper called Don't Waste Your Cancer. And I think he wrote it when he was going through, I want to say prostate cancer. And treatments, things like that. And so he wrote like 8 different points about like things to make sure you hold on to while you're going through it. And the one that was most, I think, like poignant to me was like, don't avoid thinking about death. Like, don't avoid thinking that you could potentially die. And I was like, hold up, like, aren't we supposed to be like, striving and like doing all that we can to live? And it was like, no, like, think about that possibility. Like, what if, And I was like, that was really helpful to me, like that book. I also read Everything Happens for a Reason and Other Lies That I've Loved by Katie Bowler. And that helped a lot too, because I was like, I don't want to hear that like the Lord won't put more on you than you can bear. Like, I'm pretty sure this is definitely more than I ever asked for or can bear. So let's not do that. And I also was like, you know, for me, Everything Happens for a Reason wasn't happening, because I was like, this is not happening for a reason. This is not happening for a reason. It's not happening to me for a reason. I don't see a reason. I'm not doing a reason. No. So that book really helped, because she also diagnosed with cancer, I think like a year after giving birth to her son. And she was just like, you know, I don't want to go out. And it was like, I don't want to hear like, you know, the Christian platitudes of everybody saying things when you haven't gone through it. It's like, no, not here for that either. So it was really good. She gave a lot of like scripture and testimony of how she got through that. And I was like, okay, like I can see a way through this to still walk in faith and make it through. And then on the other side, I read a book by Lisa Turkhurst called It's Not Supposed to Be This Way. Her husband cheated on her, and they walked through it and found healing, and she had to go through basically the death of her marriage and like the rebirth on the other side. So I saw it kind of a correlation of like going through the death of like the life that I thought I was gonna live, and like coming on the other side and being like, okay, like, you know, after the surgery I was healed, and like kind of like finding a new life in the Lord after going through that. And I definitely think on the other side there was a new faith, definitely a new appreciation for life, a lot less fear, but a lot more I would say boldness and strength in a very new way. So yeah.